Welcome, beautiful ones. My name is Jen Magenta Moon. Now, I know a lot of you, but I don't know some of you, and I'm just so grateful to have you join us today for this shamanic activation. How are we all feeling? We had a big full moon last night. I know I felt like I had a battery attached to me all night. It was just like these charges, and I kept having all these weird dreams and waking up and feeling this kind of vibration going on. Sahara and I were out watching the moon rise, which was just unbelievably beautiful. But it can really amplify the energy. So I'd love to invite you into this space, into this sacred space. And as we welcome in our sisters and our tribe and our community, why don't you share into the chat box where in the world you are and how are you feeling right now? Because I want to make you aware of how you are in this moment so that you have a reference point for how you feel at the end of this shamanic workshop today. Just settling into the space. I'm sure some of you have come from dealing with other people, with family members, trying to get a space where it felt private and quiet. And I really appreciate you taking some time out on your Sunday, if that's Sunday for you. I know some of us are overseas and it could be Saturday evening. And it's like, this is how we connect, not only to each other in a beautiful sacred space, it's how we connect to ourselves by carving out this time that feels nourishing, that we're doing something for our soul growth, for our personal development, for our spiritual aspects. So well done. Congratulations. All right. Beautiful women. Hello, we've got Brooke from Maitland, Chrissy from Madawi, Nikki from Maitland as well. Lucy, hey, beautiful, from Coffs Harbour. She's feeling pretty heavy today. Yep, fair enough. Sahara is from Newcastle. She's feeling calmed and a little bit drained emotionally. Renata, hey, beautiful. She's from Mexico, and since the full moon, she's been feeling really anxious. I can really resonate with that. It's been a really heightened vibration, and what it does, it starts to pick up on whatever's in our field. So it can translate as anxiety. Rebecca from Dubbo. We've got Kylie from Newcastle, feeling like I'm coming out of a cave that I've been in for weeks. Interesting. Well, this is a beautiful opportunity to really harness and identify maybe what that cave had to teach you and now how you can use those lessons. Rebecca is feeling energized. Brooke is feeling slightly cautious, but also excited at the same time, a bit conflicted. Absolutely natural. A lot of the beautiful women here today may not have experienced anything along these lines before, anything shamanic, anything kind of spiritual or woo-woo. So there can be a bit of caution and that little bit of guardedness. So I want you to honor that within yourself, wherever you find yourself to be. Karina saying she's from Newcastle as well, feeling pretty good energy-wise for the full moon, on the cusp of a decision. So grateful for this to tap into it more. Perfect. This is perfect. Yeah. Stasia, she's from the Midwest USA, feeling very good. Released a lot yesterday, even dreamt of a funeral for part of myself last night. Perfect. I love this kind of stuff. You know, I'm all about ceremony and ritual, which I'm going to get into. But these are the things we can do to help us process emotions and integrate the changes that we're going through. Keitha from Ballarat, Victoria, feeling energized after a brisk, chilly morning walk with a girlfriend, followed by a cuppa and cake. Lovely. And Chrissy, I'm feeling a little excited but nervous. Beautiful. Thank you, beautiful women. We've got over 50 people registered for this event and lots of people couldn't make the live. I will be sharing this in our new Facebook group. So I've sent an email to you all this morning as a reminder of this event, but also with the link to this new Ceremony Spirit Energy Facebook group. What I wanted to do was take you through an experience today that was as safe and deep as possible, because activations can have a whole range of impacts into our worlds, into our energy bodies, into our mind spaces, into our emotions. So I really wanted to create a space where you had somewhere else to go afterwards, that there is support ongoing for your continual evolution, for your growth and expansion. Because it's all great going through these, there's lots of different workshops out there and lots of different things that are designed to activate you. But if the space isn't held safely, if it's not held with energy wise practices and utilizing spirit in a safe way, they can open up leaks. They can mess with your energy body. And sometimes you can be left a little bit like, what did I just go through? And it's opened Pandora's box, and now I don't know what to do. So this Facebook group is going to be, it's a private group, but open to whoever would like to join us. And it's going to be a place to talk about ceremony, spirit, and energy, share about what we're grateful for, offer our things if we are practitioners or people offering services or artists, whatever you are. So I hope to see a lot of you there, and we can continue this journey together. Okay. Noni, I'm thinking would be Mac. She is saying, feeling clear and perky, happy to be here. Sahara is adding the Facebook group link. So if any of you need that, you can pop into there. All right, loves, before we get into it today, what I would like to do is open sacred space. Now, for those of you new to shamanism and a little bit like, what is even sacred space? What we're doing is opening an energetic container to work together within today. What it does is amplify the things that we do. When we work in groups, this group energy infuses like our intentions, what we're desiring, what we're wanting, and helps it to expand in a way that isn't as available when we're just doing it solo. But opening sacred space is not something that just is happening in a group environment. It is designed to be used at all times. Like, I'm an advocate for living a ceremonial life. So even every morning when I wake up, I do a meditation, and then I'll have a chat to spirit, and I simply open up a sacred space in order to know and communicate with the highest perspective available to me. So if you'd like to join me now in opening sacred space, just placing a hand on your heart space. I want to bring our consciousness and our awareness into our being now. Whatever it's taken you to get here today, just breathing that out for a moment, taking a breath in, just releasing it. Calling yourself fully present from all time, people, places, and events, all the energetic cords that are connecting you to all of those things, just let them dissolve. Feel the parts of you coming back to you. Those errant thoughts just floating away like clouds. And when you call yourself fully present, you want to drop into this space. Give yourself permission to be open energetically for this experience. Allow the thoughts and the beliefs and the emotions that are present to be witnessed and acknowledged, but know that that is not you. That you are a divine being. Your divine essence is source energy, is everything. And that part of you is what I'm calling forward today, to be present, to receive the activation that's in your highest and greatest good, that's going to be in ease, grace, and gentleness for your system, your nervous system, your mind, your emotions, your physical world. To open up a sacred space, there's many different ways. Today, I am going to light this beautiful mother candle. And as I light this candle, I am calling in my beautiful, unconditionally loving guides. I work with the Arcturians. I work with my guide team. I work with my ancestors and my power animals and all those benevolent beings who are here in unconditionally loving, supporting energy. Now, I invite you all to invite in who you resonate with. Always bringing in the words unconditionally loving, guide, ancestor, power animal, angel, spirit, whatever you want to talk to them as. For unconditionally loving energy gives us the access to the highest perspective possible. Welcome, Shelley-Ann, you're more than welcome. I want to welcome in the 4 directions and the 4 elements. Now, again, if we imagine the 4 directions, so east, north, west, and south, it creates a container around us. The elements are the foundations of our planet, our existence, this physical existence. So I welcome in East the spirits of the East and the energy of water. Water is our most cleansing element available to us. We can call on water when we want to clear ourselves energetically, physically, of things that maybe aren't serving us anymore, any stagnant energies, any foreign energies. When I call in water, I see its magnificence. I feel it is the lifeblood of this planet, that we are made of it, that it is in our air, that it is in all living beings. Ashe. Now I'll explain Ashe as well. When I say the word Ashe, it's an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement. It is I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I respect you, I witness you. So we can use it to close out something that we are saying to another or from ourselves. I call in the spirits of the north and the energy of air. Beautiful wind and winged ones. I feel you whispering. I feel you shouting. I hear the tendrils of knowledge and wisdom that you offer coming into my being. I ask for an eagle's eye perspective of my situation, of all that I am dealing with. Ashe. I call in the spirits of the west and the energy of fire. Beautiful fire, offering illumination, offering life force energy, offering transformation. May we allow fire to release, let go, give the death to anything we're done with. Old beliefs, old looping patterns. Ashe. Calling in the south and the energy of earth. Beautiful Mother Earth, your consciousness, your expansion, your grace. I acknowledge the custodians of this land, the ancestors of this land, the earth spirits and the animal spirits. I call in the sacred below. Let's bring the foundation to this container. We've done all the sides. The sacred below, Mother Earth, creating that foundation, that grounding place for us. I call in the sacred above, Father Sky, Great Spirit. And I call on the sacred in between, the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Ashe. Thank you, beautiful women. You may open your eyes. So that is one of the ways that we can open space. And it can be lengthy. We can draw it out. We can talk about the elements. It's great to feel into them. We can do a really simple practice that I'd like to gift you today by placing your hands at prayer position in front of your chest, opening up a sacred space, drawing them together above your head and then pulling them down to the heart. So you are opening up a sacred space and inviting spirit in to help you. And then when you're ready, you might have meditated, you might have journaled, you might have done yoga, you might have had a chat with spirit, you might have done a ceremony or ritual yourself. You can do the opposite by drawing them up and closing down that sacred space. And closing is really important too, especially when we're working in a group container like this, because we are working and we're melding our energies. We're creating a Torah that we want to then come back into ourselves. Otherwise, you can still be energetically linked to people and sort of taking with you their experiences, their emotions, and things like that. So I'd like you now to feel into what your intention is for our time together today. Now, some of you may or may not have seen the email that followed when you registered your spot about intentions, about how when you even say yes, the energy starts to work for you in the way that this will start to play out. That whatever your intention you set right now is already known. There is no time or space when it comes to spirit and energy. So you would have noticed potentially different things happening. Maybe you're a little bit more aware of signs and symbols and synchronicities that will align you to now. And why I recommend having a journal and a pen is so that you can note these things down, because it's a beautiful reflection tool. This is how we evolve. This is how we start to understand our patterns, by becoming conscious of them and then crafting our life with conscious intention. So if I wanted to feel into my intention for today, my intention is to create a beautiful, sacred space to take an amazing bunch of women through, to give them an experience like they were immersed in a physical location with me, like they were able to tap into something that perhaps they hadn't recognized before, that they have an experience of shamanic ceremony that maybe they haven't had before, that they get an insight or a aha moment, or it opens up something within them so that over the coming days and weeks, you are more receptive to the beautiful divine energy that is here to assist you at all times. So if you had to set an intention for how an activation would look or play out in your world, where are you seeking this? What would you like activation in? So jotting down your intention, and if anyone wants to share in the chat box their intention too, please feel free. When I say a shamanic activation, I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about something in you being activated. When I feel activated, it doesn't necessarily have a physical response. More often than not, it is it's like I wake up and I've had a dream and it's told me something, and I can feel that an energy came through, and it's like, actually, that was a message for me. It's when I meditate or go and do a shamanic journey for myself and I get that insight that kind of activates something in me. It might inspire me to create action in my life. But the word active and activate, a little bit different. So, have we all got our intentions? We all felt into what it means to set an intention. Part of living a ceremonial life is about being intentional with our thoughts, with our actions, with the way we treat ourselves, the way we treat other people, ceremonial living means we're bringing a consciousness to everything we do. And spirituality, when we sort of start going on these journeys and we get spiritually awoken, it can be a little bit of a rough path at times. It can open up doorways into shadow stuff that we were like, oh, I don't even know if I wanted to see that. You know, it's quite like Neo in the Matrix. Do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill? Because you can't actually go back to sleep once you've awoken to this. You can play ignorant, and some people do. Some people get activated or awoken at some point and then decide to shut the doors for a while. But from my experience, the majority of them will get those doors knocked down at some point in their life. So what I want to impart to you all is the importance of showing up for yourself and your soul and this growth, because that's what your being, your souls come here to do. It's to come here to evolve and to raise in consciousness. So by setting a clear intention for this workshop, for your weeks, for your days, for any ceremonies and rituals that you might do yourself, is how we start to craft. This is also how we start to manifest, because we're connecting to the energetic frequency of the intention. We're feeling it. That's why I wanted you to tap into how you're feeling right now, and then you set an intention, and then how we're going to feel at the end. Okay, Rebecca is sharing, my intention is to open my heart to hear and sense spirit interacting with me. Beautiful. Sahara, my intention is to rebirth my next body of work and for it to be received with love, support, and engagement. Perfect. Intentions can be a whole range of things. They can be about an emotional state. They can be about something we're creating in the world. We have to be careful sometimes because we can over call in a lot with new moon ceremonies. When we're calling in what we want for the next cycle, we want to be very clear, have very good clarity around it. But if we ask too many things, basically what's going to happen is you're going to be shown what's in your way from getting those. So to have a little bit of an easier journey, you want to go, well, what's manageable for me? If you know that there's some big blocks between you and solving a relationship, or maybe moving house, or getting a new job, or creating a new project, like what are the steps in between? Karina, my intention is to open to all the messages and guidance that will best support my highest purpose and path moving forward right now. Beautiful. Brooke, my intention is to allow and flow more trust within myself, spirit, and my guides, to activate in alignment and manifestation of purpose and joy. Oh, I love that. Shirley Ann, my intention is to connect to the goddess within, to connect more deeply to my soul and the earth through ritual. I love it. Noni, my intention is to activate my feminine Queen's Code energy, surrendering, trusting, embracing, allowing. Isha, my intention is to live through spirit effortlessly in every moment, staying grounded in my inner peace. Keitha, my intention is to listen to the messages my dreams and daily meditation practice provide. Love it. Chrissy, my intention is to activate a deeper self-belief so that I take the guided action I am delivered, to activate a deeper intuitive reading ability to use in my work. Perfect. And Lucy, my intention is to connect to spiritual community and open more deeply to spirit. I love it. So you all feel like you are open to spirituality, which is great. Sometimes when we do these workshops, we don't know who's going to be in the group and to what level they've been exposed to this kind of thing before. So if I say anything at any time that doesn't make sense, just pop a question in the chat box, and I'm also going to open up a Q&A right at the end for anyone who wants to stick around and have a little bit of a chat about anything. Okay, and Nina, my intention is to move in the way love moves, with trust and without fear. Delightful. Stasia, my intention is to receive the medicine of this sacred container and create stronger daily ceremonies to expand my spiritual connection. Perfect. And see, when you share that, it also helps to inform me. It helps for me to connect to you energetically and to feel into the group container and how we can travel today. What we're going to do is talk about some of the themes and then move into a beautiful shamanic journey together. I'm going to explain all the different elements to you. And then right at the end, I want to explain a few things that we can work on in terms of moving forward together from this time. Okay, so when I say ceremony, it's such a familiar word to me now that I don't believe it is known on the level that I know it in my heart on a collective basis. Ceremony and ritual, from a shamanic standpoint, are my tool, and they're my gateway, and they're my container. That is a tool, for the conscious mind to have a place to process emotions and to integrate any changes that are happening in your life. Shamanic ceremony is an opportunity to create change, to honor a change, to let things go, to call things in, to celebrate and acknowledge. There's pretty much no limit to it. There's pretty much no limit to how extravagant you can make them or how simple and small you can do them. So from just sitting in stillness and opening up a mini sacred space and tapping into your heart, that can be a ceremonial practice. From creating a huge, beautiful altar space and lighting candles and having a beautiful group of women around you, that's a ceremonial practice. From being up on stage and talking to thousands of people about spirit and energy and creating a space and taking them through an experience, that's a ceremonial practice. Ritual is something we do to make ourselves feel safer. Ritual we do all the time. Think about your daily habits. What do you get up in the morning and often do? For me, I'm a cup of tea kind of girl, and I love my really big mug, and that's one of my morning rituals. And I have lots of different other practices, but that actually connects me to my grandmother and my great aunt. Like, I remember watching them growing up and seeing them drink tea all the time, even in the middle of summer, which I did not understand as a child. And now when I drink it, and I drink it all through summer, I'm like, oh, I get it now. It's soothing, it's nourishing. And that's what ceremony and ritual is designed to do. It's create that nurturance for our beings. When we do conscious practices like this, what it does is it transforms our past, which then transforms our current situation and changes what timeline we're on, where we're tracking to, what destiny we're aligned with, what our legacy can be. So I'll explain this a little bit further because it's fascinating and it's amazing. It's like such an incredible tool. When we do something, do a practice that helps us to dive within, to understand who we are on a different level, to shine the light of consciousness on something, it transforms it. So we've all gone through a huge lifetime of ups and downs and ins and outs. We are carrying certain veils that we see through from past experiences, from things that have hurt us or made us ecstatic, different ways of relating with people. And the majority of this is between the years of being born and 8 years old. There is just so much created within our consciousness and our subconscious from that time that plays out for the rest of our life. When we start to look into this and do practices and rituals and conscious awareness of those things, we transform them from being a past pain to being a past learning. And when we've learned from something, we change the energetic frequency of it. It stops being something that takes our vibration down and starts being something that moves our vibration up. Because everything happens for you, not to you. And I know that can be a really hard pill to swallow for those who have experienced any form of abuse or tragedy or extreme situations. But from a soul perspective, all of what we experience is here to teach us. So when we can change our perspective of what's happened in the past, remove the emotional charge around it, see it for a lesson. How do we use it now? I know the majority of you are here to serve in this lifetime. Some of you may see that as being a practitioner in something. Some of you are mothers. Some of you are simply present in your being, in your body, and open and aware. That is in service. You don't physically have to do anything in order to be exactly what you were meant to be. So when we take these learnings, we can then use them to serve others. I've spent the last 24 hours having this real sense of picking up on a collective fear, picking up on this division that's happening within our society at the moment, feeling it. There's so two sides of humanity at this time, pro or against. And I was like, why am I tapping into this? Like I know I'm here to serve here, but it was like a reminder of the division that we can feel in ourselves. What I love about this work is that it works within here. And whatever's happening in here, we're going to see on the outside. So if I'm starting to really notice division out there, it's because there's some division within me, that I'm not in harmony. And what I'm going to take you through today with this shamanic journey is this bringing together of yourself. Because the more harmonious and balanced you are within, that's what you're going to start experiencing in your outside world. And I know that's what we all want. When we are experiencing this new paradigm that we're all part of creating, what do we desire for most? I'd love you to pop this into the chat box. If I ask you, what is the most core desire of your being? What is it? Is it love or connection? To be seen, to feel heard? Sahara saying union. Beautiful. Love. Peace. Peace on earth. Connection. Yeah. Love, peace, connection. Liberation. Beautiful. See, when we tap into that core essence of us, that soul part is speaking. Yes, we have our physical and human selves to deal with all the time. But that desire is a driving force. It helps us to get up and do what we've got to do in the morning. It makes you make choices and decisions based around that. So if I have a desire for connection, for instance, I'm going to create communities where I can feel that connection. I remember years ago now craving to work in a spiritual way, to figure out who my tribe was. Because when you go through that kind of spiritual awakening, it can be very lonely because you think, oh my gosh, am I the only one that's seeing all of this? So I slowly started running women's circles and creating community and connecting to different tribes that then gave me that sense of connection. I must tell you, I'm missing it in the physical at the moment because you can't really gather with people, but I'm so grateful for the opportunity to see all of your beautiful faces, to have this space to share. And it's something I want to cultivate together. So ceremony and ritual are a beautiful way to bring us together, a way for us to, I don't know, show up as ourselves, as that true being that we are. So we've got liberation, knowledge, peace and joy to experience, connection, understanding. and gratefulness from Shirley Ann. Beautiful. So when I'm talking about this potential division within ourselves, like if we think of our beings as having heaps of little containers all within us of all the different aspects of ourselves, all the different personalities, the emotions, the different inner childs, the different inner teenagers, and often they're not working in harmony. They're not talking to each other. They don't understand each other's needs or wants or desires. They're not understanding that one part of you has a fear of this and the other part of you is like, why are you scared of that? And you'll have different aspects of yourself come to kind of drive the bus of your life at different times. And it can be a little bit tricky when you are not feeling in harmony with you. And, you know, when you feel that battling of hundreds of thoughts coming in or waves of different emotions coming in, and you're like, why is this happening? Or why am I going through this again? Or far out, I've looped around this. I've dealt with this, haven't I? This is about starting to bring an awareness to all of us, all of those parts of us being treated with compassion and kindness. So instead of saying to that aspect of you, you're not welcome, you need to go away now, and shoving it back in its box, it's welcoming it into the light, welcoming it into the light of consciousness. Who are you and why are you here? And what are you showing me today? I had my perfect little girl persona driving the bus for a while. And because she's so scared of abandonment, which is one of my core wounds, which was identified through the help of understanding where I'm in Chiron in my natal chart, she will sabotage things. She'll sabotage what I'm doing in my life, all for this potentiality of being abandoned down the road. So she'll be like, no, you're too tired. You're not going to show up for that today. Or, oh, those people don't actually really like you, so you shouldn't even get involved. And when I go, is that actually true? And I discover the actual truth for me underneath it all, I realize that this little part of me just needed reassurance. She needed to be seen and to be asked, what does she need today? She needs to feel safe. She needs to feel secure. So what does that look like for you, ladies, when you are listening to what I'm talking about? You're going to have different things drop in, different things connect to your story. And part of this beautiful way of holding ceremony and ritual for groups is storytelling. That's what we would do in women's circles. We would sit around and tell our stories, because these stories help to illuminate things for us. When we express our stories, it helps us to process it, because we're externally processing. Where in your life are different parts of you not feeling heard and seen? No, we're female in this life, yet we all carry the polarities of masculine and feminine. And we also have been living in a patriarchal society for all of our lives. And the patriarchy is crumbling. It's still quite present and it's still fighting for life, but we're starting to see a new way. And part of what I feel so driven to do in this lifetime is to showcase how we can live a new way. And what I mean by that is that we're all crafting this new paradigm together. And that when we come from a new state of being in a new space, when we start living with conscious intention, weaving sacred practices into our life, when we show up in our femininity, which means being receptive, being okay to be vulnerable, being in flow with our emotions and our being and understanding our cyclic nature, we sometimes can swing to the pole if we've lived a quite masculine, intense life, which can look like always doing, always organized, always in the action. I know I spent a lot of my years in that place. I worked in event management for many years, and it was just always me needing to be in my masculine to get the job done. What I love about ceremony and ritual is it brings me back into my feminine, brings me back into that receptive state. I have to open up to spirit to work in this realm and to channel through and collaborate so that I'm of best service. You know, when I tap into holding workshops like this, doing lives for an hour, working with clients, you know, I have to get out of the way. I surrender to spirit. This is a beautiful exercise, actually, I'd love to impart with you guys today, is this surrender to spirit. So you set aside a certain amount of time. If you can do a whole day, awesome. If it's just a couple of hours or an hour, that's great too. But you open up a sacred space and you let spirit guide you. Now, this might look like you just lighting a candle and seeing what flows out of you in a writing space. It could mean that you're like, all right, tell me where to go. And they'll show you images of a place near you, or you might open Google Maps and you're kind of drawn to somewhere. And you can do this in planning in advance. Sometimes I'm like, I've got the next Wednesday off, and it's like, I'm going to do a surrender to spirit day. It's like, where do you want me to go? And I let it drop in over a few days. And it's like, really notice everything around you. Like when I go walking in the beautiful bush near me in the mornings, I'm paying attention to the trees that stand out, the birds that catch my attention, and I'm listening on that energetic level to the messages that I'm receiving. Helps you to bring yourself back into that present moment and open yourself up energetically to that which is coming in. Okay. So when we are in our masculine, we can say, that's wrong. I've got to be in my feminine. And again, we're then getting ourselves out of balance. What I feel is coming with this new paradigm is we're not going to go from the patriarchy to the matriarchy. It's now coming into a space of union, because we need to come into a space of union within ourselves. We need everyone to be in balance from their masculine and feminine polarity, knowing when they need to slide into one and slide into another, and create a culture and a society from that. That's why I believe wholeheartedly that ceremony and ritual are a beautiful way to craft a new culture, craft a society that is got spiritual and sacred practices woven into it. So part of why I resonate with shamanism is because of the way I feel it connects earth and spirit, that I serve as a bridge between the two, that I am grounded here. I'm in a physical body. We're all in a physical body, that we are feeling ourselves connected to this earth. She's a huge conscious planet. She's been around for eons. There is information woven into her on all so many different levels that when we start to tap into that, it informs us. What we want to do is be an anchor here so that we can bring in the spiritual guidance into this physical experience. I've seen a lot of women over the years, and men, get very taken with the esoteric and the spiritual, and they go like quite high. And I totally understand. I've been in those spaces where I might have dreamt all night and I've sort of gone off planet, and you have experiences that feel amazing. But it's so not here that it's hard to ground it down. And sometimes if we're not having an awesome experience here on earth, we can get very taken with, I just want to be up in the world of spirit because it's so loving. It's so high vibration. But our role, our choice as a soul to come here was to have this physical experience and to bring that spiritual insight and that high frequency and vibration into this experience, into this field, so that we can be here on a different way, serving, helping, not just everyone else, but ourselves. This is what our soul is calling for. Shamanism makes me appreciate the sacredness of life, the sacredness of my divine being, my divine essence. It taps me into the knowledge that there is just so much more than the eye can see. That I'm working with my highest spirit, which is a broader aspect of me that I can tap into and gain information. That highest spirit has the connection to source consciousness. You could say the same about your subconscious. It's like your subconscious is connected to the internet of the universe. Shamanism helps me to talk to my guides. It gives me a channel to do so. I remember when I went on my very first shamanic journey and I just got all this information, was just like, wow, that's it. That's what I've been looking for. That's the gateway for me. So I'll be very interested to see as we take you through your shamanic journey today, how you feel, what you experience, what does it open up for you, what does it activate in you. So a shamanic journey can be described as quite a few things. Basically, it's a journey from this state of being into an altered state of consciousness. Now, some shamans use ecstatic dance, a shamanic drum. I have a beautiful medicine drum, however, it doesn't translate very well on Zoom because it cuts it out because it's a repetitive sound. Some people use meditation, some people use plant medicines. So what I really enjoy doing is tapping into spirit, getting them to show me and take people on journeys. It's an absolutely beautiful experience, and I'm always amazed at how every single time I'm shown completely different things, especially when working with clients. Now, I'm going to be referring to light codes probably a bit in our shamanic journey, and I wanted to just explain that before we move into this next space. So codes can be described as portions of energy, portions of very high vibrational energy, portions of high vibrational consciousness. So we have light codes within our beings that are activated at different parts of our life. They can be dormant within organs, within our body, within our energetic field. Some of us have come here to anchor light codes to the planet. Some of you are starseeds who have had previous incarnations on different star systems, and you're bringing in light codes from those star systems to help humanity at this time. So when they start to activate, and there's going to be invitations to your energetic being for this today, that it will awaken, it's like dormant wisdom. It's like that inner knowing. Like, do you know when you have those intuitive nudges and they turn out to be right? Or you're thinking about someone and they call, or you just have those moments of you knew something was about to happen and then it happened. That's sort of tapping into that collective energetic field, like the quantum field where everything is present at once. These light codes are here and available to us at all times. You know, some people bring in light language. That's a form of light code. So today, as we journey, we're going to be opening up to receive whatever light codes are in our highest and greatest good. When I've introduced today, I said I want to take you as deep as possible, but that's safe, easy, and gentle on your being, on your system, so that whatever activates for you today can be amazing and can be mammoth, but it will bring itself into fruition over whatever period of time is needed for it to be sustainable by your being. Because I know that there's the potential for, if we go through too much energy work or too many healings in a short amount of time, we can go into what's called a healing crisis, where our being just is trying to process it all. And it can feel pretty, ugh. So my intention is to do it beautiful and gentle for you today. So I just wanted to open the floor, and if there's any questions before we move into this shamanic journey state, let me know. Just going to take a bit of water. How are we all feeling? Can I get thumbs up if we're good? Great, love it. All right, my loves. So I love it, thank you. What I would love you to do is get comfortable. You can be lying down, you can be seated, whatever works for you. We'll probably be here for around 30 minutes or so. Welcome, Rena. Welcome, Michelle. So beautiful to see you all here today. Michelle is excited, so am I. And Rena's saying, hello, beauties. All right. So just closing down the eyes. Feeling your body, wherever it is in the space that you're in. Notice where it is in the space of this room or place that you find yourself in. I want to invite you to send a grounding cord from your root chakra right into the center of the earth. Connect into beautiful Mother Earth. And this grounding cord serves as a drain, allowing any stagnant or foreign energy that you are carrying to just gently release and go down that grounding cord for Mother Earth to transmute. And as you ground into this time and place, becoming this bridge between the physical and the spiritual, I want you to call on some earth energy to come up through the feet chakras, up through the legs and past the knees and up through the thighs, pooling in that bowl of that root chakra. And while I take us through this, I want to energetically align us so that we can travel into the shamanic realm with more ease and grace. Opening up that crown chakra now and inviting in cosmic energy to flow in through the crown, coming down the back of the spine. And as it hits that root chakra, it comes up the front of the body. It activates the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. As it brings you into balance, infusing life force energy into your energy centers, creating a harmony. If you could hear your chakras humming from their vibration, and when they're clear and open, how does it sound? And as your energy aligns, and you're connected to earth and open to spirit, I want to invite you now to be standing at the top of a staircase with 10 steps descending down in front of you. And as you look down at your feet, taking the first step down, 10, the next one, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, feeling yourself deepen into a state of relaxation. 4, 3, 2, 1. At the base of these stairs, there is a door in front of you, a big, beautiful, ornate wooden door with a big brass handle on it. As you step closer to the door and place your hand upon it, feeling the grain of the wood emanating a warmth, you can hear whispering from the other side, murmurs of movement and action. On the count of 3, you're going to push that handle down, open the door, and cross the threshold into the shamanic realm. 1, 2, 3. As you cross over into that realm, looking around this space, noticing beneath you is a walkway. As you step confidently and gracefully, you start to notice that your body feels a bit different. Looking down at your hands and your feet, notice what they look like. Are you you? What color is your skin? How tall do you feel? How big do you feel? Connecting now into you in your highest form. You as a divine being. You as the highest expression that your soul can offer you today. From the eyes of you in this space, looking forward, you spy a huge open vista. This landscape looks not of earth. Rolling hills that are almost orange in color. A vast landscape with deep purples. A cloud-like consistency hanging low over this space. And whilst it looks foreign, there's a familiarity of this. It feels like home. As you continue along this path with this beautiful vista in front of you, you come upon a beautiful sacred fire. The flames crackle and dance, and there's a mesmerization of watching those flames move and flicker. Notice how big this fire is. How warm does it feel? And you feel gently guided to sit down in this space. And as you feel yourself connected to the earth of this place, again noticing what you look and feel like. From the distance, from the corner of your vision, you start to see a figure walking towards you. As this figure draws closer to you, you start to be able to make out facial expressions. You start to be able to see their stature, their physique, what attire they're wearing, what color is their skin. And as they draw closer, you recognize on a soul level that this is one of your main spirit guides. There is a smile that plays across both of your faces as you greet one another. And they join you sitting down by this sacred fire. You face one another, and they place their hand upon your third eye. As that point of connection touches, an energetic frequency moves through your body. It permeates through your pineal gland, through your brain waves, emanating down your neck, down each arm, activating the palm chakras. It comes into the heart space and swells and moves and washes down the base of the body and down the legs and out through the feet chakras. They're gifting you today with a light activation, with a frequency of energy that is here to awaken the light codes within you. As you feel this energy moving through you, whatever needs to come out of you that cannot be here anymore, that does not resonate with that high vibration, starts to show itself. Notice if you have any movement in your body. You may want to cough or expel air. You may feel like a little shake is occurring. You may have some memories pop up. These are the shadow elements, the lower vibrational parts of us that are no longer serving this high vibrational state. As it moves out of your system, you see these almost dark wisps of smoke emanate from your body and move into that sacred fire, instantly dissolving, instantly transmuting. As this light starts to play within your being, you notice a different sense within. Your beautiful guide moves their hand from upon your forehead and places it upon your womb space. Places it in the location of your sacral chakra. They look deep within your eyes as they pierce into the place behind your eyes, into the seat of your soul. Your being is drawn into your womb space. Like you have transported there, you find yourself inside the womb, inside the sacral chakra. Within this space, you look around. What does it look and feel like to you? Is it warm and cozy? Is it cold and barren? Is it like a garden or a library? What's in there? And do you need to make any changes that are going to make it feel warm and safe? You may like to bring in some candlelight, some soft cushions, whatever you need. As you look around this space, you hear a voice telling you that this is the seat of your creativity, the seat of your sexual energy as a divine feminine being on planet Earth. And your womb space today, with the help of your guide, is going to show you a key. So as you look around, you notice at the far edge something that catches your attention. As you move closer to that space, you spy upon an item. This is the key that is here for you today. This key may be in the form of a scroll, of an idea, of a physical item. When we are gifted things within the shamanic realm, they may not make sense to us straight away. We may need to pull apart and decipher them. The shamanic realm is like a dream space where we move into this altered state of consciousness to receive insights and guidance from the spiritual realm, things that are here to help us. So taking up this key, taking it back into your being, where does it feel like it wants to be housed? Is there a chakra that you're intuitively guided to? Or perhaps in your energy field or your aura? Perhaps in your back pocket? Take this and feel yourself starting to elevate, starting to rise up out of the womb space now that you have made it cozy and warm, knowing that you can come back to this place at any time. Coming back out and up into the space with your guide, sitting cross-legged across from them. Your guide's hand still on your womb. They gently withdraw it and hold both of your hands. It is time now, love, to decide. To decide what is needing to be held on to and what is needing to be released. This is your time to expand, to grow, to elevate, to exist on a frequency and a vibration that is in best service to your soul. You didn't come here to hide behind your fears. You didn't come here to hide behind your beliefs. We ask and invite you today to surrender. Surrender to the sacredness of your life. Open up to the majesty of your divine being. Explore the realms of possibility. We ask you, dear, what do you desire? How does that desire craft itself and showcase itself in your life? What are the beliefs that you have structured to support that desire? And most of all, why don't you deserve or believe you don't deserve to have your most heartfelt desire brought to life? See a garden growing from the top of your head. See the garden full of life, greenery, vines, and as they grow and expand, they reach up into the cosmos. Every leaf, every tendril, every flower has a story to tell. This is a representation of your multi-dimensionality. This is who you truly are. You are life. You are love. Your capacity to learn and grow is never ending. Your imagination and your dreaming are your tools to creating the experiences that you want. We ask you, dear, what is holding you back? What is stopping you from shining your light with utter brilliance. Yes, we hear you. We hear the doubts. We hear the disbelief. We hear all the parts of you that don't think it's possible. Whether you are conscious of them or not, they are playing out their tune. And again, we remind you that this is for you. That for you to be able to surpass this disbelief and this doubt and fear is your life. We invite you, dear, to step into yourself. There are parts of you that have been fragmented and floating on the ether, awaiting to be reunited with you, dear. Are you ready for them? Are you ready to retrieve the aspects of you, to call home the new recruits, the new parts of you that can bring in the power, the activations, and the light codes? We hear a yes from your heart. We hear a yes, you are ready. So we ask you now, dear, take a breath in and breathe it out. Know that every breath that you take, you are calling in this wisdom. You are calling in this light. These activations that are taking place today are on a soul level. They are happening on the energetic planes of existence. That the way they will integrate into your being in the emotional, mental, and physical levels will take a time. We do not want to harm you, dear. The expansiveness and evolutionary opportunities of this energy is limitless, but one spoonful at a time, dear. Today, enjoy this taste of this new possibility. Breathe in the light. See it. Fill your whole being, making every cell glow and activate and awaken to its optimum levels of health and vitality. See the walls around your heart melt as trust and faith replace them. See all the parts of you that are doing merge into a new space of being. See that all the aspects within you that were not in harmony, melding, joining, singing together. Yes, we see you. We see all of your frequency turning up and amplifying. We see this evolution of self. We see this life falling forth from your hands. The life of the vines and the plants emanating from your being. You are earth, love. You are born from earth. You are made from earth. So of course you can speak with her. Your body is earth. Your spirit is source. You are the bridge. There is nothing you need in your world but to trust this. Sink into this knowing. Fall into the depths of yourself. Gently close your eyes to the disillusionment and the despair. For underneath everything is simply the heartbeat of love. And as the words from your guide emanate around you, opening new doors within you, the sense of your skin being electrified, notice how you feel in this moment. Gently unfolding those legs next to that campfire. Standing up with the assistance of your guide. Circling this fire space. Hearing the flames talk to you. The earth around you talk to you. Notice this new vibration within you has opened up your capacity to read the language of spirit and energy in a way you've never experienced before. This is what they want you to embrace today. Embrace an opening to a new way forward. Understanding that as you traverse this path, you are creating a new paradigm. That as you activate and awaken the light codes within you, you activate and awaken the light codes in others. That by showing up for your soul, as it grows through all the ups and downs, you are doing exactly what you are meant to do. Above you, you see a light. This light shows itself in a shape, in a form, in a symbol. It grows brighter and brighter, and that symbol becomes etched into your mind. This is a light code gift for you today. Allow it to permeate down into your crown, emanating down through your whole body. Offering the final level of activation and light code movement for this journey. Remembering what you look like. Remembering what your guide appears as. Remembering your womb space and the key you were given. Remembering the symbol. As you stand up and give great thanks to your guide for showing up and sharing this activation and this channeled message for you today, you gently bid them farewell, knowing that you will be working with them time and time again. And you start walking back, taking one last look at this beautiful sacred fire and this beautiful vista back along the path where you finally find the door. On the count of 3, you're going to open that door and cross back over into the space of the here and now. 1, 2, 3. Finding yourself on the landing before the stairs, climbing those stairs, and as you do, starting to bring physical movement back into your body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feeling yourself becoming back into this time and place. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Move your body, have some water, grab your journal and pen and write down what you remember straight away. Remembering what you looked like. How did you feel in that realm? What did your guide show themselves as? All of this is messaging. The key, what was in the womb space. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to continue on the journaling. All right, loves, keep writing for as long as you need, but I would love some of you to share what you experience. This is when I can start to give you a channeled insight into the messages that you received through this shamanic journey. So whether you want to jump in the chat box, or if any of you would like to jump on, let me know. And I'd love to welcome your experience today. It's very interesting as we're in that space. I'm following what I experience as well. So my version of doing shamanic journeys for groups is about seeing what I'm given from my guides that is here to serve the collective. So I'm explaining the journey that they want to take you on. So Brooke said she's happy to share. I'd love for you to jump on.
Hi.
Hey.
Just feels like such a nice group. I thought I'd talk. Um, it was interesting because my guide was quite human and earthly, but I was spirit, and I think I had fins. That's all I could really understand. Um, and in that womb space, I was given a candle that kind of just sat on the top of it. But there was sort of the instruction and almost like go off and do the work around this concept of like worthiness and just this sort of limitation of not feeling worthy. Because it's like I was shown I was like a spirit and a soul, and that all of this earth existence is just ready, but there's still this little like, this is a lot. So, yeah.
Beautiful. When you're speaking, things jump out at me. This is how sort of spirit works with me in so the fins, for example, when I tap into aquatic creatures, their ability to move through water with swiftness, water being the element of cleansing. I know when we've done our private sessions, was it water or air that was like really prominent? Air. The fin makes me feel like swiftness, like it's time to move with this in a swift way. Light, candle, illumination, it is illuminating something for you. And then you're getting that message of not feeling like you've been telling yourself you're worthy enough. And ladies, this is such a common story. As I'm deciphering different people's journeys today, there's stories in here for all of you. Spirit works in this way. Things I say are going to light up different things. Do you remember the symbol that you got?
Yeah, it was kind of like a strange looking mushroom.
Mushroom. Okay, that reminds me of medicine. Like the mushroom has been used as a medicinal quality for so many years, and it feels like you were saying the guide felt very earth, very human. I feel like you're being drawn back here, drawn back into this time and place. Like, yes, we are majoritively intergalactic beings, interdimensional beings, and it's that push and pull between wanting to be that expansive self and hey, I've got to live this human existence and go take the rubbish out. So it's like bringing that all in so that you can have all that be the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, so that you're anchoring, you're an anchor point for this illumination to come in, for this swift movement. It's like, what divine inspired action can you take? What's the next step of your spiritual journey? Thank you for sharing, Brooke. Chrissy, I went so deep that I can't remember a thing. I know that I just feel heavier and more grounded. Beautiful. And that sometimes will happen. You might like to listen back to it another time. And I'm not sure if you were lying down for that. Sometimes sitting up can help to stop yourself going into past that certain brainwave state where you can't remember. But know that even without remembering, you have received the energetic transmission of this. So it'll be interesting to see what occurs for you. Now, I've planted a very strong seed, and I think I've spoken about it the whole way through, about this being with gentleness and ease. So whether you picked up on something today, for all of you, you're going to see things shift over the next week. This is how energy and spirit work. Rena, I couldn't do it properly as I had distractions with IT problems. I will need to re-listen. Not a problem. And again, see, these things happen. We get distracted for reasons. Sometimes we're not meant to do it at this stage. So it's interesting, again, how things play out, that our environments will direct. And sometimes spirit has actually gone, no, not time for you. So maybe it's time to do it at a different time when you have more spaciousness around this potentially. Cindy, eagles, both myself and my guide. Oh, powerful. So the eagle, think about what an eagle makes you feel like. Like, yes, you can jump on Google and look up the spirit meaning of things. And I often do because I like another perspective, but I'm always tuning into how does something make me feel. Eagle eye perspective. That's the bird that can fly the highest. They get to see everything. Their eyesight is pristine. They can dive down to find their prey with such swiftness. How does the eagle make you feel? I'd love you to share about that in the chat box or live if you wanted to. Karina, please jump on.
Yeah, look, it was absolutely amazing. I had some really beautiful visions. My guide was actually my pop, who had passed away when I was 11. So that was really interesting. I felt like I was quite a giant. And when I looked down at my feet, I had no shoes on. I was very dark skinned. And as I saw the campfire, I went in, it was like there was all the spirits sitting there already in a circle, and they were waiting for me to go in, like I was like almost like an elder type presence in that space. And then, you know, my room space, it was really interesting. You know, I needed to add a hammock in the middle. And then I just saw this gift, like this box with a bow on it. And when I opened it, it was a jack in the box. And it wanted to go in my throat chakra when I opened it. And then it was funny when I went really deep after that. And when you rang the bell to come back, I just saw eagle wings just like taking off. So yeah, it was really powerful. Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. The eagle could be our power animal for this experience. If it's showing up in multiple people's journeys, that can come through when you're doing this work. So if we take on that medicine, that's beautiful. I love that your pop showed up. Often it will be an ancestor that we have a relationship with. It's good to explore, like, what is your relationship? What was it? Or what did he mean in the family? Or what was his relationship with your mum and dad, whoever's side it was on? It can unravel things for you to kind of go into that space. And if you can't speak to actual relatives about it, doing a free writing exercise where you invite him in, open a sacred space and go, Pop, I'd love to chat with you. And you can write a question and then just let yourself write his answer. So that's a really great way to establish further communication with a guide. I love the jack in the box. It's super interesting. And that you were guided to put it in the throat chakra. So think about it. When you're doing I'm just hearing that music, ding, ding, doodle. I don't know what it is, but you know, the wind up music and then the pooh. It's like, what do you want to express, but in a powerful way? What's your message, beautiful woman? Like, I'm just getting this whole, like, you have something to say, you have something to express. And it doesn't feel like you've been holding it back necessarily. It's almost like you've been waiting for the right platform, the right place, or the right time in order to do this. So what I'm getting from them is that it's time. You've got this beautiful ability to, the mother candle just went flying. That's a sign as well. Oh, just got weird energy all through my body. The power of the explosion doesn't feel like it's coming in anger or anything. It's like coming out in joy, in celebration. It's like, here I am, I'm ready to show up, and bang, you know, I'm not too much. I am exactly the way I am. And if you think I'm too much, then you've got the problem. That's the kind of messaging I'm getting from that. Beautiful. And the hammock makes me just feel like relaxing in your space of creativity, in your space of sexuality. It's like, are you trying to force anything in either of those realms? Because a hammock is like, cool, just chill out for 5 minutes. It will come. The divine inspired action, the inspiration, the insights, they're going to come, but you have to be in a still space to receive them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And it makes a lot of sense with the decisions I'm toying with today. So it's either like, for me next week, I've got an opportunity to almost like in relation to in bulk on that weekend, like to launch myself into a ceremonial space myself, or I've been offered this space to go to a mountain where I can actually celebrate in bulk and drop deeper into my offering. So that's what I'm kind of like been toying with the last couple of days. So that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Stasia, I feel like I receive so much, but I'm having issues putting it on paper. I have images of the gown I was wearing, a hand that reached out. My symbol reminded me of a sun with rays, but then I saw a similar symbol with many lights being in the middle. Stasia, did you want to jump on and chat, or you just wanted to share that?
It's super loud here, so I didn't want. Yeah, it's like so much happened that when I went to process it, I'm like, what happened? Like I'm all over the place right now.
Nice. Well, interesting, because Stasia journeyed with us through the Conscious Experience Mentorship last year. So she's been exposed to lots and lots of shamanic journeys, and you know, how different do they turn up all the time? Isn't it interesting, right? Just what they show us about ourselves. And if you need support later with anything that comes from this, you know where to reach me. And we've also got our beautiful Facebook group. Rebecca, I saw loads of colors and patterns and felt very calm. Definitely felt in my body, my throat and heart. At the end, I saw my guides, Indigenous man and a bear. I felt like I was up in high in spirit at the start and more grounded at the end. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the revelations of this journey are going to start to unravel themselves. That's why I think it's really important to write them down, because it's like a dream and you'll be like, what did I experience again later on? And if you can refer back to them, especially over this week, you're going to start to see the tendrils of the messages playing out. Something you saw in there may make no sense, and then this week you'll get shown it on a billboard, on a piece of rubbish, on something, and it'll be like, oh, a message to pay attention at that time. Cindy, so powerful and wise, free and able to see all. Amazing. Noni, happy to share. I looked like a Dr. Zeus character, long fingers and long feet, a brown coat with red elbow patches. Jump on, Noni.
Hi, yeah. My fingers were really long, and when I opened the door, it was like I was going down, first of all, like a red carpet down to a sort of a basement, like theatre or something, and then I opened the door and it was this vast circus space, and then there was all these Dr. Zeus characters around, and then I looked at my hands and my fingers were really long and my feet were really long, and I had this kind of brown coat on with red patches, and I felt really male, actually, really male energy. And then I was out, like I was quite tired already, and my baby wasn't with me during the journey, and I just I don't know where I went, and then I came back just as we were going back up the stairs. So when I went and had a drink of water and went to the bathroom, and my skin looks really clear and nice, except I've got one little itchy dot on my like I've had a bite or something on my cheek, and I just wonder, that wasn't there before, and it's just kind of tickling away from my left side. So
Beautiful. Because when I took us in there, I could see the bodies of us all different, and different skin showing and different elongations, and I really feel like I saw that character as well.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not surprised that you dropped out at the point you dropped out, because that's when this full-on channeled message came through. And so your soul needed to hear that without your conscious mind trying to use it and trying to play with it. So it might be something you'd like to look at again later and just take it in on another level. Because what happens is, when we go through these experiences, our conscious mind can take in only so much. It's like that spoonful at a time analogy. We will have a spoonful and then be like, I'm just done. I can't take it anymore. I can't process anymore. I need to integrate this now. And then we're ready for the next level. So this recording is going to be popped into the new Facebook group, Ceremony Spirit Energy. And it's going to be a place where we can continue to play with all of this sort of stuff. Thanks for sharing.
Cool. And I saw a sea eagle this morning, just the eagles, like over the river. Yeah, so
I actually saw one flying just before I started this as well. I was sitting there.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, the eagle's with us. Beautiful. Ready?
Thanks.
Okay, Renata, when you mentioned key, I saw clouds and thunder, then shadow with some light waves. I look like this Indian powerful woman, and my spirit was an old lady. A guy from my past came out of nowhere. Very interesting. So again, it would be maybe good to open up dialogue with these different characters. What are you here for? What have you got to share with me? What advice can you give me? And use that free writing, or do it in a meditation state if you feel like you could open up to receiving messages. Tess, I was originally feeling like I was falling through the door and ended up being a frog, and felt like I was in water, feeling swished around even though I was by a fire. When my guide came, they were a frog-like creature too. But then I became a white owl when they touched my third eye. My womb was full of white feathers. I was gifted a vial of blood. I received the message that bridging womb and heart, upper and lower chakras. Woo! What a journey. Interesting. Like the vial of blood feels good in the womb space, because that's where we bleed, where we create life, where our creativity and our sexuality is based. It's almost like, I feel like a vial of blood, I get the image of wearing it around the neck. And it's almost like taking this essence with you, this essence of the power of that space. Now, when we birth something, it doesn't have to be a physical child. It's a seat of creativity. That sacral chakra is that space of bringing forth creations. So thinking about that, and like then the softness of white feathers and an owl, and the quietness of an owl, like I feel like there's almost like a strength and a softness there, this balancing act from what you shared. Really beautiful. Rebecca, my oracle card before today's session was Eagle Medicine. Love it. Nina, observing myself, I looked down. I had bird claws and bird wings, a white feathered head. I was a bird in this journey. See, the bird energy, the air energy, it's very present for us. What do we feel like when we see a bird? What does a bird represent to us? Freedom, flight, expansion, being able to move through sky, being able to fly between the trees. When we tap into that, we start to bring in that energy of that for us, welcoming in that bird or eagle medicine. Shirley Ann, bonfire was huge and high. Emmanuel was my guide, who was her brother who died when he was 10 months old. She loves him. Tall, slender, cloaked in white. Womb space cold, then warm. Space expansion, healing love. Ease, moving forward, peacefulness within, restfulness, openness, lightness, joy. Wow. I've been aware for some years now of activating for self-healing codes on the planet. However, I've only used for myself and my grandson, and a sprinkle of people not sure what I'm to do with them yet. Any clues, Jen? Oh, Shirley Ann, your biggest mission right now is healing and coming into alignment in yourself before anything's going to be shown for you in the future. Shirley Ann actually lent me the book, The Lineage of the Light Codes by Jessie Ariam. I'll pop the picture of it into the Facebook group. I'm reading it for the second time. That's why I haven't given it back to you yet, because it just has blown me away. So I'll share that because it's a really beautiful story of the consciousness light codes being passed through the generations of women throughout humanity, from Isis through to Mary Magdalene to Lilith, like many, many figures. And it's just told in this potent way. And it has so many bells of truth ringing in it. It's amazing. Kylie, thank you for this space. I went deep, quick, and this worked on a very deep level. I remember the bell at the start and the bell at the end. Haha. I'm trusting the energy to do its thing and my conscious mind to get out of the way. Exactly. It all transpires in different ways. Sometimes I'm doing a journey and I just don't get anything, but there's stuff going on the energetic level. And it's like, I didn't actually need to know about it because I just try and pull it apart. Tess, I have to go now. No problem, sweetie. Thank you for joining us. Yes, please do close your space if you do have to jump off. We're awesome. Love it. Rima, I saw myself as a galactic being, felt like a male with long fingers and feet. My guide was a galactic being. I was given a big, long brown and white feather feeling so high vibe. Symbols that were shown to me were in a different language I've never seen before. Beautiful. Yeah, that galactic, there was a really strong galactic presence there. Again, the long appendages, and yeah, the feather, the bird medicine, so beautiful. Lucy, I met a new guide who said he is a magician king. I was given a crystal in my room space, which I put into a magic staff wand when came out, and light came out in a huge column of light between the earth and sky. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Ladies, this work works, but we have to get out of our minds and we have to get out of our own way to just allow it to do its medicine at its own time and its own pace. You know, everything that happens in my life, even the things that I go, oh, that's terrible, not very long afterwards, I go, oh, I get it. I now see why that happened. Work that we're doing here is going to show itself in such a myriad of ways. And I would love for you to continue to share in the Facebook group. And I've got all these different hashtags that I've popped for the days because it helps us to have a reason to share a specific thing on a specific day. But one of the any day hashtags is ceremony spirit energy. So if you're having any kind of spirit downloads or spiritual awakening experiences or energetic experiences, even if you're just going, what is going on with the energy today? Or is there some planetary stuff going on that makes me feel as cray-cray as I feel? Like, it's a place for us to communicate. I'd love to share with you before we close Sacred Space another way we could continue to work together. I have a 4-week program about to commence on the 21st of August, and it's on 21/8/21, which feels like quite a powerful date, called the Foundations of Ceremony. And it's a 4-week program that covers all of this and more on such a deep level. We're going to do heaps of shamanic journeys together, lots of ceremony and ritual. But the 4 modules that we cover are the foundations of ceremony, of what it is, why we do it, how it works, what different things we can do, and who we can do it for. For those of you who are just wanting to enrich their life with a bit more of this ceremonial lifestyle, it would be perfect. And for those of you who are practitioners and want to bring another sort of element and edge to what you can offer people, it's amazing for this. I see a lot of people with great intentions out there not actually holding space in a way that is most energetically and emotionally held, safe, strong, so that people are held in a way that they're not having those healing crises after, that they're not going so far esoteric and then they're not grounding, things like that. We're also going to go into energy hygiene practices. This is like so fundamental that we look after our energy bodies, just like we want to have a shower and get into a new pair of clothes most days. We want to clean our energy. We want to clear it. We want to activate it, energize it. We want to set permission and boundaries, and sometimes we need to protect it. We're going to go into sacred space essentials, how to create a sacred space for you doing your own things, for you doing it in groups. Maybe you're doing it for your family. Maybe you're doing it for clients. Maybe you're doing it for big audiences. Like, how do you create a sacred space for different locations, for different circumstances? Then we're going to go into how to create a potent experience. And this is what I hope I have gifted you all today, is a potent online experience where you're able to go deep in a way that I guess some of us don't think it's possible when we're working on a digital landscape, where we can go and have a transformation. We can have a place to process something, to integrate something, to open a new doorway to what's next. So if any of you feel inclined to read more about that, Sahara's just popped the link into the chat, and I will also pop it into the Facebook group. It's $444 for the 4 weeks. Now I'm going to offer for you guys, the first 5 people who book, I'm going to offer a free legacy shamanic session, which is a 90-minute shamanic session with me, valued at $333. So it's just a little gift for you guys, because I really appreciate having this space to share with you. This is what lights me up. This is my absolute passion, and working with ceremony, spirit, and energy. You know, I feel like I've showed up for my soul. I've showed up for what I was supposed to do. You know, it wasn't that long ago I was working full-time in event management going, why do I hate this? Why am I getting sick all the time? Why am I stressed out and depressed all the time? I followed my heart. I followed the prompts. And before you know it, you're doing something that is so in alignment. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this is your path, but this can help you on your path. So I think that's it. What I'm going to do is close the space, and then anyone who needs to jump off can. And if anyone wants to stay and ask them questions or get anything further, I'm going to stick around for Q&A for a little bit. So if you'd all like to place your hand on your heart, giving great thanks to your being. Like when I tune into your energy now, I can see all of you as stronger energy. Like when I see people's energy, it kind of can fade out at the edges sometimes. It's like you're all much more solid light. Giving great thanks to your guides, my guides, the angels, the Arcturians, the ancestors, the power animals, to Eagle. Thank you all for being here and holding this space and bringing through this activation and this energetic transmission today. I give great thanks to the in-between, for us to understand how we can be that bridge between the spiritual and the physical. I gently close you down. I give great thanks to Great Spirit and the sacred above, and gently close you down. I give great thanks to the sacred below, and gently close you down, beautiful Mother Earth. Giving great thanks and acknowledgement to the South and Mother Earth, gently closing you down. Giving great thanks to the West and fire, and gently closing you down. Giving great thanks to the North and air, gently closing you down. And giving great thanks to the East and water, and gently closing you down. And everyone like to put their hands above their head in prayer position, bringing them apart and back together at the heart, and closing that space down. Thank you, beautiful women. I see you, I see you, I see you. Thank you for spending this time on your Sunday or Saturday. And I'll see you guys in the Facebook group. And if you need to hop off, please do. And I will stick around for anything else. Oh, thank you for all your beautiful messages. If anyone wants to jump off jump off mute and chat, please do.
I feel so disoriented. Like so much good came out, and I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I have like all this like flash of imageries that I was like, oh, and I don't even remember my gift. And I remember it being amazing. I'm like, what happened? Where did I go?
Okay, so it's that part of you that feels sad. There's like a grief now of like,
Yeah.
I want to remind you that you haven't lost it, that it is so permeated deep within your being that it's going to show itself. What I'm getting is that you're going to get more messages in your dream space tonight.
Yeah.
And that those symbols and things that you've seen are coming for you. So do the journey again and see if, because it will, and set the intention for receiving them and being able to remember.
Okay.
Even asking your guides now, it's like, guys, come on, I want to remember. Help me to bring it in now and let the memories flood back in.
Okay. Yeah. Because you're like, write it down. I'm like, and I start drawing. I drew a bunch of pictures. I'm like, well, I don't know.
So remember to ground, babe. Send that grounding cord down so you don't have that full disorientated, because right now I just see you're all up here.
Oh, yeah.
Ground and just surrender to it. Just let it go and be receivership, because you're grasping, and I want you to sit back so it just like it has time to come to you.
Okay.
I'm getting all these like symbols are just like flowing into you, so it's just going to take time.
It was amazing. I'm like, it was so great. I'm like, what was it?
Oh, sweetie, I love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Who else would like to chat?
Hey Jen,
Hi, gorgeous.
thanks for that. That was amazing.
My pleasure.
I've got a question about timelines that you were talking about earlier. I guess this is a sort of a phrase I've started to notice popping up on social media over the last little while. I've kind of become conscious of it. And are you able to just talk about that a little bit more? Because, you know, I think I've grasped a bit of it from the contexts that I've seen it in, but yeah, I guess I'd just like to know a bit more about it.
Absolutely. Great question. So when I tune into timelines, like there's millions of potentials, but we are usually aligned with one. Often when I'm doing client sessions, I'm seeing if they are aligned to the one that's most lit up. So timelines can almost be described as different dimensions as well, because we live in a multi-dimensional reality. Like us as here, we could be having a slightly different experience and be on a slightly different timeline. It's like the sliding doors kind of concept. The different choice points, different experiences and different timelines can branch off. So what we can do is align ourselves with the timeline that gets to the thing that we want on a quicker, on a clearer like pathway. So sometimes we are going down a pathway or a timeline that isn't getting us to where we want on the quickest trajectory. So what I'm getting from them is the idea of a timeline is the specific pathway of life that you are on at the moment. And is it the optimum? Is it the one that you want to be on? Are you connecting to? So they're sort of showing me like if you are living in a lower vibrational state, then you're not on, like it's like they're showing me a train track and you're slightly walking along the side and it's taking you a bit longer. Whereas if you got on the train track, it's like that fast track to the kind of optimum experience for your soul's growth in the most easy possible way. Does that kind of give you a description? If you ask me another
question.
It
does. And it makes a lot of sense actually, because I mean, when I'm, you know, doing my client sessions with tarot, with my readings and everything, often I think I've had a similar experience where it's the way I've perceived it more is sort of like choice points, when you're at a point and there's a couple of paths available to you and you have to decide which way you're going to go. And I suppose those could be potentially like timelines intersecting. And obviously we've got in those moments the choice to decide which one we're going to go down. So that's, yeah, that actually it makes a lot of sense. I guess it's just new language for describing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. So good to see you, darling. Anyone else like to jump on?
Hi.
Hi, Noni.
Hi. It's okay. I'm waking you up. It's all right. It's okay, Steve.
Maybe Eden there.
It's okay. Go back. It's okay. Oh.
Can't talk yet. Okay. I'm just going to pop you on mute for the moment. Cindy or Kylie, did you want to jump on?
Hi.
Hi, Kylie.
I can start my video. I turned it off because I had sort of bad lighting and I actually laid down. But I just wanted to thank you because I think I went pretty deep and obviously worked on some level that I needed to. And I'm just sort of hopping in between here and looking at the course that you're offering. So I think maybe that was what I was meant to get out of it. But thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. And as I've said, like, go back and journey again, or, you know, see what happens. And we've got the Facebook group to jump straight into, so at least we've got a place to talk about it. Because I don't know, that's what I just dislike the most. If you go and do these amazing things and then you're kind of left high and dry going, I don't have anyone to talk about these things that I'm now experiencing. So yeah. I'm so glad you were here and present, and I'd love to journey with you for the foundation. So see if it feels right for you.
Great, thank you.
Cindy. Oh, I can't hear you, but you're not on mute.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I just want to come on and say it was more than amazing that from some miracle that I even got on tonight. I'm from Alberta, and I had a thing going on, and all of a sudden I got this really strong presence to check and see if you were on, and it was when it just started. Yeah. And during my journey, I don't remember, about 20 minutes. And then I came on with the eagles and my spirit guide, who I see a lot by a mountain with a waterfall. The shamanic journey is something that's, I believe it's meant to be for me. And I think mostly I just wanted to tell you thank you. And I don't know, I guess just whatever you have to say is what I meant to hear.
Oh, Cindy, you made me want to cry. You really touched my heart. To be able to do this and to connect to people and to help them to connect to spirit and stuff, it just, for me, it's the new way forward. It is life. It is the way we need to craft this next paradigm. So spirit spoke loudly to you and you got here. And I'm so glad that you're in our container now, and that we can share space in the group and hopefully journey again soon.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Stay
so much peace.
Oh, thank you for joining from so far away. I love it. So
bye-bye.
Asia's asking about how the modules will be set up for the program weekly Zooms. Yes. So on like a Monday, you're going to get a drop-in of a video and a PDF workbook of what the week's theme will be about. There's also going to be a video of like either a shamanic journey or a ceremony or a ritual or something, whatever's related to the module. And then on the Wednesdays, we're going to have our masterclasses, and it's at a USA friendly time. Just for you, Stasia. And now Cindy too. Noni, are you able to jump on? No? Okay. Well, you send me a message later if you need to. Is there anything else, beautiful women, before we close for today? Thank you from my deepest heart for your energy and love, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Jump over into the Facebook group, check it out. I wrote all the description, right? Oh, so frustrated. This description with all the hashtag explanations, and then I'm like, oh, that image needs to be cropped, and I changed it and I lost everything. So I'm going to go and do that now, so you'll get the description in a moment. But I love you all very much, and I will see you soon. Bye, honeys.